Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in multi-threading series up to this we have covered all these really important and powerful concepts. In the previous video we have discussed about thread synchronization using a real life example of an online shopping system. Now in today's video we are going to learn how synchronization works using synchronized method in Java. So in Java, we can achieve thread synchronization in three common ways: synchronized method, synchronized block, and static synchronization. In this video, our focus will be on synchronized method. What it is, how it works, and how we can implement it with simple and clear example. Okay. And by the end of this video, you will understand why we need synchronized method, how they prevent data inconsistency when multiple threads are accessing the same resource, and how to use them properly in our program. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. So what is thread synchronization? I have already explained in the previous video. However, I will briefly explain it again for better understanding and future reference. Okay. So as I explained in the previous video, thread synchronization is the process of making sure that only one thread can use or access shared resource or data at a time so that they don't interfere with each other. So here question comes that what does shared resource means, right? So in Java, shared resources can be objects or data that are accessed by more than one thread commonly or in shared at the same time. Such as, let's understand it with real life example of online shopping system that already I have explained in the previous video. Still I am going to explain it again. Okay. So assume that person A want to buy a phone online. At the same time, person B also want to buy the same phone. So here phone we can call a resource that both the person trying to access commonly, and therefore it can called shared resource. So here both the person trying to buy same phone at the same time, but only one phone is left in stock. So can both people buy that one phone? No. If this happen, the result will be wrong because only one person can buy that one phone and another person should notify that phone or product is out of stock or unavailable. That means either person A can buy that phone or person B. Both people cannot buy that one phone. And if this happen, then the result will be wrong, right? Similarly, let's consider here person A is a thread 1 and person B is a thread 2. So both the threads performing same task of buying product using or accessing same resource in common, that is phone. So here both the threads accessing the same resource together at the same time. There is no control on accessing resource, right? So basically, when multiple threads access or uses shared resources at the same time or concurrently without any control, then it can lead to a wrong result. This is because generally if one thread is accessing a resource, other thread should wait until that thread finish accessing it. However, if multiple thread access or uses shared resources concurrently without any control, then a wrong result or incorrect result may occur. An incorrect result can cause data inconsistency, and this problem is called as a race condition in Java. This is a common problem in multithreading, and to resolve this problem, thread synchronization plays a very important role. So when we apply the synchronization concept in multithreading, then only one thread can access the shared resource at a time, and the other threads wait until it finish accessing the resource. That means when multiple threads access shared resource concurrently, then only one thread use a shared resource at a time and other threads should wait until one thread finish accessing the shared resource so that they don't interfere with each other, and therefore we always get correct result. So basically, synchronization ensures that only one thread access a shared resource at a time. So simply keep in mind, synchronization helps to control multiple threads accessing shared resources at the same time. Clear? Now let's understand how we can achieve thread synchronization using synchronized method. Now let's understand how we can achieve thread synchronization using synchronized method directly through a simple example. Okay. Now see here, first we will see the scenario without synchronization and then the scenario with synchronization practically. Okay. So here I have already created a class with runnable interface and its class product. And here inside main method I have created object of this class and class which have implement runnable interface, that class object called as runnable object. So this is our runnable object. Okay, and here I have create two threads, thread 1 and thread 2. And now let's create a simple method and it's suppose public void buying. Okay, buying product, and let's write here if stock is greater than 0. Now let's declare and initialize the stock variable. Okay, so here we can write private int stock equals to 1, and let's write here order is confirm. Order is confirm, and decrease the stock here. So we can write stock minus minus. Okay, all right. And let's do one thing here. Just write here thread dot current thread dot get name. So it will give the name of current thread. It helps to know which thread is executing this piece of code. And inside else part, let's write product is out of stock. And same we can write here also. Okay, to know which thread is executing this else part. Okay, and now let's override the run method. So just cut and paste here. Okay, all right. And inside run method, let's call this buying product method. Okay, and don't worry, I will explain the complete code. Okay, now let's pass this runnable object to this thread constructor here and here as well, so that this thread 1 and thread 2 will execute the run method of this class. And let's provide name for thread 1 here inside thread constructor. So the thread 1 name, suppose thread underscore 1. Okay, and same we can write for thread 2. So thread 2 name, suppose thread underscore 2. Okay, all right. And now let's start both the threads. Thread 1 dot start, and here thread 2 dot start. Okay, that's it. Now let's understand the code and the flow of execution. So program will start from this main method. JVM start execution from here. So first control come to this and product class object will create. Then instance variable stock will initialize. So in this program, this variable stock is shared resource that both the threads thread 1 and thread 2 will use commonly. Then two threads will create, thread 1 and thread 2, with name thread underscore 1 and thread underscore 2, having same runnable object to both the threads. So at this point no thread has started it. Okay, then control will come to this and thread 1 will start. Then internally JVM calls a run method of this class, because here I have passed the object of this class to this thread constructor. Therefore JVM will call a run method of this class. Okay, then thread 1 start executing a run method. Then control will come to this and this buying product method get called, and then thread 1 will enter into a buying product method. Okay, So here control will come to this and it will check for stock is greater than 0. Yes, condition is true because current value of stock is 1. Then control will come over here and current thread name and order is confirmed will print on console. And then control will come to this and stock will decrease by 1, stock minus minus, and it become 0, and now stock value is 0. And here if block will end and control will come back to this and thread 2 will start. Same JVM will internally call run method of this class because here also I have passed object of this class. And thread 2 also will start executing run method and will enter into buying product method. And here we'll check for condition stock is greater than 0. No, because the current value of stock is 0. So 0 is greater than 0. No, condition is false. And then directly we'll enter into a else block and the current thread name and product is out of stock will print on console. But remember, order of thread execution is handled by JVM's thread scheduler, right? JVM decide which thread runs and when, and because of that order of threads execution is not guaranteed, and therefore thread 2 may execute before the thread 1 or both the threads may execute at the same time if running on multi-core CPU. So here if we think if both the threads reach this line at the same time, then both the threads can see stock equals to 1 and condition will true for both the threads and both will confirm the order. But how is it possible? Because stock value is 1, that means only one product is left in stock. So here overselling problem will create, right? Basically here we may get wrong result or incorrect data, and getting incorrect data, that is data inconsistency, and this problem is called as race condition. So here basically it may create the problem of race condition. You can see here if I run this code, see here both the threads confirm the order even if only one product is left in stock. So here we are getting wrong result because either thread 1 will confirm the order or thread 2, not both the threads, right? And to resolve this problem we should use synchronized method. So how we can resolve this problem using synchronized method? Let's understand. Simply add the synchronize keyword to this buying product method. That's it. Now this method has become synchronized method. So here synchronize is a keyword in Java that helps to control multiple threads accessing shared resources at the same time. In simple words, it ensures that only one thread at the time can execute a particular piece of code or method. Now let's understand how it works, how execution flow will go. Okay. So JVM will start execution from here, from main method. Then product class object will create. Then instance variable stock will initialize. Then two threads will create, thread 1 and thread 2, with names having same runnable object to both the threads. Then control will come to this and thread 1 will start. Then internally JVM calls the run method of this class because here I have passed object of this class to this thread 1 constructor, and thread 1 start executing run method and this buying product method get called. Then control will come to this and thread 1 will enter into buying product method, and here listen carefully. Okay, so here buying method is a synchronized method, right? And therefore JVM uses the monitor lock of this runnable object. Basically in Java, every object automatically has a monitor lock. We don't create it, even we don't see it in a code, but the JVM uses it to control synchronized access. Simply remember, in Java, every object has its own lock, and this lock is created automatically when the object is created. So every object carry a built-in lock that only one thread can hold at a time. Clear? So when thread 1 enter into the buying product method, then the thread 1 acquire the monitor lock of this runnable object, and at the same time if thread 2 try to enter a buying product method, then it get lock and wait until thread 1 release the lock. Okay, so thread 1 acquire the object lock, then control will come to this and here it will check stock is greater than 0. Yes, condition is true because current value of stock is 1. Then control will come over here and the current thread name and order is confirmed will print on console. And then control will come to this and stock will decrease by 1. and stock will become 0, and now stock value is 0. And then thread 1 exit the synchronize method, release the monitor lock and will terminate. And then thread 2 enter into a buying product method. Then the thread 2 acquire the same monitor lock, and here we'll check for a condition. If stock is greater than 0, no, because the current value of stock is 0. So condition is false. Then control will come to this else part, and here the current thread name and the product is out of stock will print on console. Then thread to exit synchronize method, release the monitor lock and terminate. After that, no code inside the main method, and therefore program will terminate and JVM will shut down. Clear? I hope you understand how execution flow will go. Now let's run the code and let's see. You can see here we have got an expected output. But here thread execution order may vary because order depend on thread scheduling. But correctness is guaranteed due to synchronization. If I run it again, you can see here. You can see here order of execution has been changed, but output is correct, right? That's it. So simply keep in mind, in multi-threading, multiple threads share the same data. So in this program, both the threads, thread 1 and thread 2 share the same runnable object and stock variable. And if two threads modify the same data at the same time, it can cause incorrect result or data inconsistency. And this problem is called as race condition. So synchronized method or synchronized keyword helps to prevent this. So simply remember, a synchronized method allow only one thread at a time to execute that method. Clear? I hope you understand what is synchronized method, how it works, and how we can prevent the problem of data inconsistency. So in the next video, I will explain how we can achieve thread synchronization using synchronized block. Okay? If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. It motivates me a lot to make such useful videos for you. So see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and thank you so much for watching.